Hello, my name is Kerry from Kerry's Card Creations. Welcome. Um, so I'm back today. I was scrolling through Pinterest and I saw these. I've got one finished. So it's a ribbon holder, thread holder, cotton thread holder. And I thought, well, that's really pretty. So I was having a bit of a play around. I had these papers. I got these off of Etsy. They're all like sewing themed papers. So that's what I'm using. And you hardly need any paper at all. I've got these fantastic cutting dies. And in fact, I've got bits from everywhere really. But I've got this pack and it's all sewing themed. Some of them I've used are... I've used the sewing machine, I've used the thimble, I've used the cotton reels. These are from these. I want to say these are, and I'm losing my bits now. It's because they're stuck to the other side. Creative Expression. Are they Creative Expression? It'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, but I've got all sorts in there, all sorts of sewing themed stamps and dies. Just dies I'm using today. So I thought, yeah, we'd make one of these. I'd turn the camera on and I'd make one of these. So I actually got my template from Pinterest. I found it on Pinterest. I printed it out to the size I wanted. So mine measures 7.5 by 8.5. I just sized it up on my computer. Cut it, I printed it on thin card so I could keep it as a template. Then I drew round it on some thick white card, but you could obviously use any colour. I think it would look lovely in any colour. And yes, I'm going to keep my template. So that's the shape that I've got. Have I got a rubber so I can just rub out those lines? So I thought these would be really lovely to just give us maybe some happy mail, or use them for a topper for a card when you've finished. I teach a class on a Monday, so at the moment I'm doing 4 classes a week. So I do a class on a Monday where we just do papercraft related things, and then Tuesday mornings I do card making, Wednesday mornings card making, and Wednesday afternoons crochet. And on Mondays it's nice to make something other than a box. We tend to make lots of boxes, so I'm trying to steer away from boxes a bit at the minute. Right, so I've got that I've done, and then I've just cut some strips of paper. This is my faux ribbon. So these are 1 centimetre by any length really. 1 centimetre by 8 these ones are, but these ones are 6 I think. Yeah, 1 centimetre by 6. So I'm just going to glue these. So this would be, if you don't have to use, glue doesn't want to work. No, I don't know why, because I've been using it this morning. You could use any scraps. This would be an absolute fantastic scrap bin challenge idea. Come on. So I'm just going to stick these. I don't want to stick these past this piece here. So I thought I'd stick these, and when I'm sticking them on, I'm overlapping them as if there was ribbon, as if it was wrapped ribbon around them. Let's put a longer one on now. So I didn't really cut the longer ones. All I did is just wrap it round the back. So with the longer ones, all I did was turn it over and wrapped it round the back. I mean, if you're doing a junk journal or anything like that, these, like a sewing themed junk journal, these would be ideal for that. But or you've got a gift tag, friend that's into sewing. These would be really nice to put in, like if you had a mini sewing kit, gift it like that. There's lots of things you can do. So literally I'm just layering them over as if it's ribbon wrapped round. Let's use another longer one. Like I say, fantastic scrap bin challenge. This would make a perfect scrap bin challenge. You literally hardly use any paper at all. Right, so that's that. And then I have die cut various bits. Various bits from my, and then in the stamp set it says love you beyond measure. So this one I did beyond measure, and what I did was I just taped over, let me see if I can find it. Did I leave it on there? So it says love you beyond measure. What I did was I got some, in case you've never done this before, I'm sure most of you have. If you've got a stamp that says things that you don't want it to say, if you use some washi tape, just cover up the bit you don't want it to, the bit you don't want, just cover up with washi tape. I'm sure everybody's tried this, but just for those of you that haven't, just in case. Just trying to find a piece of white card. I have my scrap bin next to me. Right, so you just use washi tape to cover up the piece you don't want to stamp. Get your ink pad and stamp your stamp. And then take the washi tape off. Get off. And then stamp. And then it just stamps the bits that you want it to stamp. I'll use that for something else now. Right. Just in case you've never done that before. Right, on this one, I've got in the back there, I've got a piece of white card. So I'm going to see if I've got a piece of scrap white I have. So I did die cut that one, but being my die cut machine is holding up my camera, I'll just use a piece of white. That might be 3.5. So this will be 3.5 by 3.5. So I've got a piece of white card that measures 3.5 by 3.5, and I'm just going to glue that there. Right, then I'm going to pop my safety pins on, and this is all flat. I haven't put any foam pads on anything. I'm going to glue my other one down there. You could batch make these, they're so quick, apart from the die cutting obviously. I wish I had, the stamp sets I've got are more knitting related. I wish I had a stamp set that was more sewing themed. I might well have one somewhere, but where it is, I don't know where it is. I'd have to go and look through my stash. So these are buttons. These buttons dies come from a really old die set I've had forever. This is mindless crafting to me. This is when you want to craft, don't want to make a card or a box or any particular project, to just sit and make these is just really lovely. It's just nice, simple sit and craft things, not making anything specific, just making something because you want to make something. I've talked about this quite a lot. My friend Nick, she loves to die cut. She can sit for hours die cutting and patching things up. I'm not so much like that. I like to make something. So this is ideal for me when I don't want to make a... She can just sit for hours with cutting dies with tiny little pieces and just make toppers that way. Whereas me, I like to... I'm a bit of a faffer, as I call it. Right, so there's my scissors, and I've got this, my measure. In fact, now I think about it, I think I've got a stamp set. It's a made to surprise stamp set. I lent it to Nick back along, so I think I've probably got that. So I think I've probably got more stuff in there that I thought that I could have used for these. Oh, silly girl, don't put it that side. So I'm not going to put that down just yet because I want to put my... But I covered my one up last time. I covered one of these up and I don't want to cover it up again. So I just wanted to make sure that I put these so that they was just peeking out from behind that. This one on here, I put the blue one on and you can't see it. Right, that's that. And then I've got some flowers. So I use these. I have got absolutely stacks of these flowers. 2 huge boxes full of them. Of every colour, shape you can think of. So on this one I use these pink ones. I imagine these are supposed to be roses. That one's, my scent's fallen out, that one. I can't remember where I got these from. I've had them for years and years. So pink on this, I'm going to use this really pretty sunshiny yellow on this one. Look, the medals fall out. they was very inexpensive, and they weren't. I've got my glue gun next to me. Just pop this centre back in. I can't remember where I used to get them from. I used to get massive bundles of them, and they used to come in big packs. Right, so I'm just going to pop them. Oh, it's falling out my hand. And then I thought, these bits that you cut, these are the stems that come off the flower. So if you get a kebab stick, wooden kebab stick, and just wrap it round. Kebab sticks are ideal for this because they're perfect size. You make like a twizzle. So just wrap it round. Okay, let's just pop a bit of hot glue on there. And then we'll just tuck that in there. There we go. There is my I think that's so pretty. I really do. If I can find the link, I will link in the description bar the where I got the idea from on Pinterest. Like I said, I spend a lot of time on Pinterest. I love Pinterest. And I just saw these and I thought, oh, that's a really fantastic idea. Just cutting out my pencil. Cutting out and rubbing out my pencil marks. There you go. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I'll be back again soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.